It's 2025, a new year, and the perfect time to turn your business dreams into reality. Maybe you've been tossing around a great idea, but haven't acted yet. Well, Shopify is how you're going to make it happen. Shopify makes it simple to create your brand, open for business, and make your first sale. With thousands of customizable templates, you don't need coding or design skills. Just drag, drop, and go. Plus, Shopify's social media tools help you connect all your channels and create shoppable posts so you can sell everywhere your customers scroll. Managing your business is easy too. From shipping to taxes to payments, Shopify handles the details on a single dashboard, letting you focus on what really matters: growing your business. Established in 2025 has a nice ring to it.
We all get glimpses of what our future might hold as we get older by watching our parents and colleagues and friends. Oh, I can't read that. Hang on, let me get my glasses. Yeah, I used to love to sew, but it's too much strain on my eyes now. Oh, I stopped driving at night a few years ago. These people are awesome and didn't do anything wrong, but what if we had the option to make choices now that would reduce our chances of having to struggle with our vision or spend our time worrying about our independence or sitting in waiting rooms? You're listening to the Health Courage Collective podcast, episode 87, Help Your Eyes Stay Biologically Young, Part 1. Welcome to the Health Courage Collective podcast, the show for women who are too busy to slog through hours of generalized, inapplicable, and often contradictory health information, but too smart to ignore that a few minutes of focused attention now can prevent years of suffering in the future. I'm your host, Christina Hackett, a pharmacist who doesn't want you to live on prescriptions, a certified coach specifically trained to maximize your potential, and a compulsive learner obsessed with preventative, cutting-edge, holistic, and integrative medicine. I'm on a mission to increase your physical and mental resilience so you can fearlessly look forward to your next 40-plus limitless years. Your time is now. Let's go. Hello and welcome to another episode. Thank you so much for being here. I really, truly appreciate you. Can you believe that it's March? It is crazy. How are you? Are you feeling fully alive? Did you pick one of the easy things from last week's episode to help you feel like you're more awake during your life? Maybe adding in some play, reflecting on your connection with the bigger meaning of why you're here on Earth, or finding a way to turn off autopilot? We really don't have much time here on Earth, so we might as well feel more alive while we can, right? Today we're going to talk about something that's super important to our experience of life, something that we take for granted, at least I know I do, and that almost all of us just assume is a fact, that they'll deteriorate as we age, which is our eyes. They're seriously so amazing. Like when you think about how fragile and intricate they are, and they just work and provide us with our most relied upon sense, it's so cool. I remember in elementary school when I learned that we see everything upside down and our brain translates it as right side up. I was like, whoa. We also turned off the lights and shined a flashlight across our partner's eyes and saw their pupils get big and small. Amazing. Eyes are so cool. And for how cool I think mine are, I pretty much neglect them all the time, which isn't cool. I've never even had an eye exam, which is pretty irresponsible, and I need to get on that. But I do know that if I stand behind my son when he's at the eye doctor, I can read the 2010 line on the fancy electronic eye chart, so whatever. I know it's not an all clear for eye health, especially since I'm 43 now. Prevention and early detection are so important. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the stuff that I think is so interesting, and like everything, I think you should at least know about it as an option so you can make a more informed decision. And if you decide to go the standard traditional route, that's fine. At least it's not because you didn't know any different. Before we get to the weirder stuff, let's talk about some of the common age-related eye changes that tend to happen as people get older. First off, cataracts. I'm sure you know that cataracts are when a section of your clear lens becomes cloudy. They're common, but not inevitable. If you want to increase your chance of getting cataracts, then you should smoke, have high blood sugar, take steroid medications, and eat processed foods. If you want to decrease your risk, you should not smoke, maintain a healthy metabolism with healthy blood sugar levels, and eat lots of polyphenols and antioxidants in colorful vegetables and fruits. Also, protecting your eyes from injury by wearing safety glasses and protecting them from excessive amounts of UV radiation is good. But your eyes do need some natural light. If they never, ever get sun exposure, that's actually bad for them and for your whole body, despite what you've been told. But excessive exposure, like sunburn to your eyes amount of sun, isn't healthy. We're going to get to supplements in a minute, but a 2008 study of 35,551 women found that those who consumed more lutein and zeaxanthin had an 18% lower chance of developing cataracts. A different study of 71,083 women in 2005 showed that the ones who ate more omega-3 fatty acids developed fewer cataracts. The good news is that the healthy lifestyle things that help reduce your risk of cataracts will also help all the other areas of your health and longevity too. So it's for sure worth your effort. And cataract surgery is one of the most common and safe surgeries now, which is fabulous for anyone trying to see clearly out of a murky lens. But I've heard eye expert Claudia Muhlenweg, who we'll talk about later, say that she thinks you should not get the UV blocking lenses when you get your lenses replaced. So if you know anyone who might be up for cataract surgery, you could recommend that they look into it a little bit more before agreeing to those UV blocking lenses without a second thought. Next up is glaucoma. This is much more complicated than cataracts, and there are narrow angle and wide angle or high pressure and normal pressure types of glaucoma. I'm not an eye expert, and I don't know that an exhaustive exploration of each type would help you develop a general plan to age like a professional. We'll just leave it at glaucoma is a condition that damages the optic nerve and is one of the leading causes of blindness for people over age 60. It's a big deal because there isn't anything that can reliably restore vision once you lose it from glaucoma. So catching it early and intervening before you lose vision is the key. So the best thing to put on your aging plan would be an eye exam. Well, regular eye exams, really. That means me. You're at higher risk of developing glaucoma if you smoke, take steroid medications, have high blood pressure, high blood sugar, are overweight, have obstructive sleep apnea, or are sedentary. Eye-healthy foods and vitamins and supplements can help lower your risk. Regular exercise prevents glaucoma. Protecting your eyes from injury helps prevent glaucoma, just like with cataracts. Interestingly, if you have glaucoma, you shouldn't do handstands or headstands or inversion tables, and you shouldn't sleep with your eye against your pillow or your arm. But I don't think those positions matter if you're just trying to prevent glaucoma. There has been some research linking optic nerve damage from glaucoma to gum disease. So brushing and flossing and supporting your mouth microbiome can actually help your eyes and your brain. Kind of weird. Hey, quick question. Have you ever tried blue light filtering glasses yet? You probably know that the blue light coming out of all your screens can strain and possibly damage your eyes. So protecting your eyes is a good idea. I've tried a few different kinds of blue light filtering glasses over the years, but lately my eyes were physically aching after looking at screens. So I got a pair of glasses from Eye by Direct with Sight Relax lenses that are designed to relieve eye strain in addition to blocking blue light. They have a really subtle magnification at the bottom, which I wasn't sure I would like, but I really do. And the lenses are a lot more clear. I always felt like my other blue light lenses were never all the way clean. If you've never tried Eye by Direct, there's a link in the show notes for $10 off your first pair of glasses that you can use in addition to 15% off your first pair. They have great deals on prescription glasses and sunglasses in addition to blue light glasses, and they have so many different kinds of frames to choose from really conservative ones to really bold. My Sight Relax glasses look like tortoiseshell, but it's actually little flowers on the frame. Cute. Okay, back to the episode. Something else we want to reduce our risk of as we age is macular degeneration, which is the degeneration of your macula. Obviously. Your macula is the center part of your retina at the back of your eye, so macular degeneration results in you losing your vision from the center first. Terrifying. Macula lutea means the yellow spot. The macula is the point on the retina where central vision focuses, so you want it to be healthy. There are dry and wet forms of macular degeneration. The leading factor is decreased macular pigment density. Macular pigment is composed of 3 isomeric carotenoids, zeaxanthin, mesozeaxanthin, and lutein. Risk factors are smoking, exposure to oxidative stress, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, poor diet, and being female. The most important way to prevent losing your vision from macular degeneration is, again, regular eye exams. Next up is not smoking and living a healthy lifestyle. Nourishing movement and a nutrient-dense diet go a long way. This is where eye vitamins and blue light blocking glasses have more evidence to show that they're beneficial. I'm of the opinion that those nutrients that increase your macular pigment density are good for way more than just preventing macular degeneration, but that hasn't been widely proven yet. So when you see those eye vitamins, you probably know that they usually have the pigments lutein and zeaxanthin. We can get some from our diet and from green leafy vegetables, broccoli, and egg yolks. The stuff in supplements is extracted from marigolds. I've always liked marigolds. I would plant some with my dad every summer in our front yard. And it's the name of Lady Edith's daughter on Downton Abbey, which was not the greatest situation. Poor Mrs. Drew. But the name is cute. Zeaxanthin is what gives paprika, goji berries, and orange bell peppers their color. You might see AREDS or AREDS-2 listed on the name of eye vitamins. That comes from a study named the Age-Related Eye Disease Study 2, which found that certain nutritional supplements could help some people who have a lot of drusen, which are little yellow spots on the back of your eye that your eye doctor can see to know that that precedes the development of macular degeneration. The AREDS-2 vitamins are 500 milligrams of vitamin C, 400 international units of vitamin E, 10 milligrams of lutein, 2 milligrams of zeaxanthin, 80 milligrams of zinc oxide, and 2 milligrams of copper. I think these eye vitamins are good for keeping your eyes healthy beyond just macular degeneration. Eye professionals tend to be pretty conservative about saying you might consider taking them if you feel you're at high risk for macular degeneration, but not otherwise. But 5 and 10-year studies of thousands and thousands of people have shown no side effects from the supplements other than really high doses causing yellowing of the skin, which was reversible when the dose was decreased. When I was growing up, one of my friend's moms was doing some kind of very high carrot diet. I would think she probably would have had to juice them too, but I'm not sure about that part. She worked from home, which was totally weird in the early 90s. She was the only one I had ever heard of who did that. And she would chain eat carrots while she worked, which is better than chain smoking, but her skin turned very yellowy orange for a while. It sounds like you could get a similar result from taking a ton of lutein and zeaxanthin, if you wanted to. It's also always better to get nutrients from your food rather than pills when possible, so lots of consistent green leafy vegetables, dark colored vegetables, and red and orange vegetables are good for protecting your macula. Another supplement I think you should know about so you can decide if you want to add it to your regime is astaxanthin. I love it. It's one of the carotenoids like what make carrots orange, so maybe you could turn yourself orange with it too, if that were your goal. I really want to say something about an orange-colored politician, but I'm refraining. Astaxanthin is found in red algae, and it's what gives salmon its, salmon color. Also lobster and krill. It's an antioxidant that protects your cells from free reactive oxygen species. It's anti-inflammatory, which is huge, and it boosts your immune system. It's a good all-around anti-aging supplement. I've heard several people say that they use it like an internal sunscreen. If they know they're going to be going outside a lot and they take a lot of astaxanthin ahead of time, then they don't get burned. I'm not recommending that, but it's interesting to know. You probably want around 4 to 15 milligrams a day. Mega Red brand krill oil has astaxanthin in it, which is cool, but it's only 17 micrograms. You need at least 200 times more than that. If you remember back from episode 59 about getting good quality fish oil, that antioxidants like astaxanthin and vitamin E are used to prevent the fish oil from oxidizing, so that's all it's really doing in there. Astaxanthin can get into the pigmented areas at the back of our eye more easily than other carotenoids, and it's really good at neutralizing oxidative stress there and everywhere. It might also help defend against damage from blue light and UV rays. It wasn't part of the AREDS-2 study, though. But smaller studies are starting to suggest that it can reduce eye strain and fatigue and prevent dry eyes, improve visual acuity and depth perception, and decrease blurred and double vision. You get some if you eat salmon, lobster, crab, shrimp, red snapper, rainbow trout, or crawfish. It's fat soluble, so if you take it as a supplement, it's better to take it at meal times or with your fish oil and vitamin K2 and vitamin D and such. Another cool antioxidant that I like and that eye expert Claudia Muhlenweg recommends is carbon-60. It doesn't have a ton of hard evidence yet because that's hard to do for supplements, but so far it seems to have pretty powerful antioxidant effects and might help defend against oxidative stress everywhere, including your eyes. Plus, it's called Buckminster fullerenes, so it doesn't get much better than that, right? Let me know if you want to hear more about it. I'd be happy to get into it more. It's a cool one. It was first used in electric nanotechnology, but now people take it internally. There is a dipeptide called carnosine, which is found in muscle and brain tissue that helps prevent the formation of advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, which are a major contributor to aging. You can also decrease your overall number of AGEs by consuming less sugar. Carnosine is a good anti-aging supplement overall and pretty cheap and easy to get and take. Carnosine in your eye can prevent and sometimes reverse the development of cloudy lenses. You can get N-acetyl L-carnosine as eye drops. They're over the counter and not very expensive. The drops in your eye can go into both the water-soluble and fat-soluble areas of your eye, which is pretty cool. It can protect your DNA from UV-induced strand breaks. A Chinese study in 1999 showed it was effective for preventing and reversing cataracts in humans, and a 2014 study on animals in Russia showed that it also maintained lens clarity when exposed to high amounts of UVA light. But the poor cows in the placebo group all got cataracts. Sad. You can decide if you want to use eye drops with N-acetyl L-carnosine to prevent eye aging or not, but if you don't use any prescription drops or wear contacts, I don't think they'd hurt. If you do, you'd have to come up with a schedule to put them in at a different time than your other drops or when you don't have your contacts in. I think it's cool to at least know about as an option to keep your eyes young by reducing environmental damage. Another supplement that's good for your eyes is fish oil. You need enough omega-3s to make healthy tears and keep your eyes appropriately moist. You want your ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 in balance, which almost nobody's are. You can go back and listen to episode 56 about fish oil for all of the details about that and how to make sure you're getting a good quality fish oil supplement that's not doing more harm than good. Something else that could quickly damage your eyes is living for a long time with a blood sugar level that's too high. About 4.1 million US adults have diabetic retinopathy, and way too many people lose their vision, which is devastating, from diabetes, especially because it can 100% be prevented. If we want to help our eyes age as well as possible, we want to prevent and or reduce the amount of damage they sustain during our years on Earth. But we know that we need a little bit of UV light, not too much. We also need some blue light, but not too much. The most significant source of blue light is the sun. We need some blue light exposure to regulate our circadian rhythm. So especially before noon, we want to be getting some blue light from the sun in our eyes, moderately and gently, of course. But the yellow pigment in our macula absorbs high energy light like UV light and blue light. And when it gets too much high energy light from too much blue light, it can start to accumulate damage over time. Our eyes are evolved to handle natural sunlight with its changing color temperature over the course of the day. But now they get bombarded with unnatural light wavelengths all day, every day. Fluorescent LED and CFL bulbs give off blue light, as do LED screens and computer, tablet, and phone screens. I think it's wise to consider getting some blue light glasses if you spend a lot of time looking at screens. And it's definitely wise to more tightly restrict your blue, and hence white, light exposure at night. We talked about that 2 weeks ago. Computer glasses are not enough to protect your ability to produce melatonin at night. You need red-lensed glasses that make everything look color distorted and make you either look ridiculous or ridiculously cool, depending on how you choose to think about it. Mine are from a company called Blublox, Blublox, but True Dark is another good brand. Send me a message if you want more advice about using light to regulate your circadian rhythm. I can totally feel a difference in my ability to get to sleep if I wear my Blublox glasses at night. Like I said, I'm not an eye professional, but I know that floaters are a thing that concerns some people. The National Eye Institute says that floaters are a normal part of aging caused by strands of vitreous humor sticking together and making shadows on your retina. Dr. William Bates, who we're going to talk a lot about next week, says that floaters called muscae volatantes are an illusion resulting from mental strain. Most people see floaters when they look at the sun. This is because looking at the sun causes strain. He says the specks are never seen except for when the eyes and mind are under a strain, and they always disappear when the strain is relieved. We're going to talk a lot more about Dr. Bates and mental strain next week, but if he's right, floaters would be a great warning sign that your eyes are straining, because then you can possibly prevent your vision from getting worse from that strain. Okay, you guys all know that I'm pretty weird and I like believing some unusual things about aging and what our bodies are capable of. But there are some things that everyone is conditioned to believe that I just tend to think are facts, as we all do. One of those things is that some people just need glasses because their lens shape is distorted, and that everyone will need glasses at some point, be that 40, 45, 50 years old. It's for sure going to happen. It's a fact that your visual acuity declines with age. Well, I'm starting to change my mind about that, which I think is pretty spiffy. Why not second guess inevitable limitations? I don't see a downside. Maybe I'll end up wearing glasses someday anyway. No problem, I'll pick a really cute pair, but maybe I won't. That'd be kind of cool. I want to introduce you to a concept that sort of flies in the face of traditional ophthalmology. You don't have to buy into it, but I do think it's worth 20 minutes of your time to hear it out and have the option to choose what you want to believe and what you want to do about it. We're running short on time, so we'll do that next week as in eyeball part 2. There are ways to improve your vision without glasses, which could be cool to know about as we get older. Dr. William Bates says, the idea that presbyopia is a normal result of growing old is responsible for much defective eyesight. When people who have reached the presbyopic age experience difficulty in reading, they are very likely to resort at once to glasses, either with or without professional advice. In some cases, such persons may be actually presbyopic. In others, the difficulty may be something temporary which they would have thought little about if they had been younger, and which would have passed if nature had been left to herself. But once the glasses are adopted, in the great majority of cases, they produce the condition they were designed to relieve, or if it already existed, they make it worse." End quote. As you're hooking your future self up with unfair biological advantages that allow you to live a bigger, bolder life as you get older, don't forget the huge part that good vision plays in your life experience. We can each take steps to reduce our risk of diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, macular degeneration, and cataracts. The things we need to do aren't overly time-consuming or expensive, and the side effects are good health in all areas of our life too. Your eyes are amazing. I hope you make the effort to keep them that way for a long time. Next week, we'll talk about ways to see better without glasses. Until then, don't neglect your eye health and don't be normal. Thank you so much for tuning into the Health Courage Collective podcast. I am truly honored that you have paid me the enormous compliment of your time and attention. I would be so grateful if you would share this podcast with someone you know and subscribe so you never miss an episode. This podcast is for entertainment and information purposes only. Statements and views on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Christina Hackett and producers, disclaim responsibility for any possible adverse events by use of information contained herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed physician.